Hello there, I'm Simon. Welcome to my shed. It's time for another layout update on the Severn Valley Railway. And first thing I want to say is if you are a regular subscriber and viewer, thanks very much for watching, and you will know what I'm up to in terms of this layout. But I did think, watching back over the last few layout updates, that any new viewers, because I started this layout over 12 months ago now, so any new viewers wouldn't necessarily know what I'm up to, and I sort of just carry on talking as though everyone is up to speed. So I'll try and remember at the start of the videos to say that I'm working in Engage, building a part of the Severn Valley Railway from Kidderminster, so including the Kidderminster Severn Valley station and the London Midland lines, to allow me to run sort of preserved and some more modern trains. And I'm also doing Arley Station at the other end, so we've got a big loop, and yeah, we've got Arley Station, Kidderminster Station, and the some of the valley and the actual River Severn itself will be included. I've laid all the track, done about half the point motors to motorise the points, and I'm now starting on the scenery, which you will see some more of in this video. So coming up, we've got a section on the platform shelter, which I'm scratch building, and that's the little shelter that goes on the platform at Arley Station. We've also got a bit of a tidy up and a sort out, getting organised in the shed. You may have already noticed, if you watched before, the background has changed slightly. So yes, I've clad the shed walls, so there's a tiny bit on that, and yeah, another bit on the sort of rest of the scenery progress that I've made around the sort of Arley end of the layout. So let's take a look. So I decided to have a go at building this, the shelter, platform shelter at Arley Station, and you can see there I've just cut a rectangle of grey board. It's two thicknesses stuck together, and obviously the right shape for the sides, and a bit of help from Tilly the cat. And I used paperbrick.co.uk and managed to find a nice yellow brick that matches up pretty well to the real shelter. And around the bottom there's some blue bricks. So yeah, I used two thicknesses of 1000 micron grey board. So if you just search for 1mm grey board or 1000 micron grey board, that's what that is. Two thicknesses stuck together is about right for the thickness of the walls, and that's where that's what we started with. Obviously just wrap the brick paper around and trim it off, and for the windows just wrap it around, and I just cut a slit down and sort of folded it into the window frame. Quite tricky to do. So that is again from paperbrick.co.uk. Really good site, allows you to just specify your own sort of brick colour and dimensions and things. Now inside on the back wall there is a lot of posters, so just did a quick Google for GWR posters and laid them out and on the computer and printed them out. Had to do it a few times to get them the right height. It's quite difficult to get the scale right, but there we are, stuck on. And also used the bench from the Scale Scenes, I think it's from the Scale Scenes bus shelter or platform shelter kit, which is what you can see there. So you can see the bench back, and also stuck the bench seat in. Now this, I'm using the Woodland Scenics earth colour kit, just to get some colour on the underside of the roof. Obviously, again, two thicknesses of grey board stuck together, cut out to the right shape. And for the top, I used actually the ceiling cover layer from the Scale Scene Shelter kit and sort of weathered it down with a bit more colour from the Earth Colour kit. And you can see a couple of bits in the windows there of, it's like a inkjet transparency film. Managed to slot that in between the two walls. What I really should have done is stuck it in between the two walls before I glued them together, but never mind. And for the edging around the roof, I actually got a photo of the station and printed that out to the right scale for the sort of orange wooden bit around the roof that you can see there. Now this was tricky. Obviously I hadn't put anything on the windows to mark out the window frames, but just using white sticky labels, I cut a really thin strip, and after many failed attempts managed to get that to stick on and look not too bad. A little bit wonky, but I couldn't do it any better. Also stuck on a little poster and a little blackboard. The only thing missing is I don't know what they're called, but they're these little spikes that stick down from the roof. So I really need some help with that, and I need to know what they're called so that I can search for them and hopefully buy a kit with them in, because there's no way I'm going to be able to cut that out by hand. It's just too fiddly. So hopefully there's whatever on earth they're called, there is a kit of them that I can search for. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any idea what those pointy bits sticking down from the roof are called. And that's my almost finished model, apart from the pointy sticking down things. You can see the blackboard and the poster stuck onto the walls. Needs a flower basket, a hanging basket on, but I need to figure out how to make one of those. I'm pleased with how that turned out. Obviously that's quite a zoomed in close-up, and you can see all the little faults and the slight wonkiness of the roof, but overall very pleased with that. You may remember from last time I was having a bit of a shed tidy up. Well, I've never been so organised, so it's all been hoovered out and sorted out, chucked a load of rubbish away. So I got the shelving down here, which I put in a while ago, my little programming track there. I've not set it up properly yet, but we've got the Mac there if we need a computer up here, and we've got all our sort of glue and scenic stuff, scenic scatter and so on, all our painting stuff, all of the stock boxes. We've got electronic stuff, soldering there. This is just whatever was kind of left over, to be honest. And yeah, some sort of scenery modelling stuff there, plastic cloth and so on. These still need to sort out, but that's stuff that's waiting for unboxing and is just temporarily in storage, like some of the vehicles off of Bodnam Woods, which would just roll off when it's up on the ceiling like that. And we've got our trusty airbrush, which we might need soon for some track weathering, and a load of magazines and stuff in here. So yeah, don't look in that, it's a bundle of wires. So it's yeah. Oh, and I've got this little little set of drawers with all sort of track tools and little tools in there, scenery bits like tree armatures and bits of wire that can be used for scenery and stuff. What else have we got? All the tiny electronic bits, resistors and so on, and connectors in there, track joiners and bits of track, and mostly couplers and stuff in there. So yeah, that feels a lot better, and I can actually walk from one end to the other now. So yeah, let's get on with some other jobs. Not great weather out there, but we have some plywood. So let's get this stuck on the shed walls. I'm sure there's not too much interest in the whole footage of putting these boards up, so obviously cut that down quite a lot, but I'll show you the end result, and that is a very nice surface there to put all my back scene on down that side, and hang a few pictures and posters up and stuff, make it look a bit nicer. Really pleased with how that's come out, and yeah, we're done all the way around. And similarly down here now, I've raised the plugs up a bit to give me a bit more room for a back scene there, and yeah, that should be a good surface to work from. Pleased with that. Now in terms of the layout itself, I have made some more progress down here, so let's take a look at that. Let's start at this end, on the entrance to sort of Arley station, and the first obvious thing is we've now got a little backboard here, so this will be the end of the scenic section. Excuse the plaster all over my fingers, I'll explain that when I get down to that end. Yeah, just a bit of plywood left over from the walls, so that will sort of mark the end of the scenery when the trains then sort of sneak back round here, if I want to run them in a loop. So we'll put a suitable backdrop on there, some sky, maybe. I mean, it's going to be sort of banked up here either side to sort of try and hide the exit. I did think about putting a tunnel entrance on, but there's not really one anywhere near there in real life. Also thought about maybe going down to Arley and stand at the end of the platform and sort of take a photograph looking that way and using that. So a few ideas, but we'll see what I can do for there. But at least that's in place now, ready to accept the back scene. I just need to make the exit hole a bit bigger, because I was a bit optimistic on how small I could get away with. Yeah, let me know what you think. I mean, maybe just a bank either side, which is what it's really like, and some trees on it would sort of hide the fact that it's the end of the scenery. Moving further down, not much has changed here. Only thing I've really done is remembered to actually check the platform clearances, as we're on a curve here, so we need to make sure that the carriages don't hit the edge of the platform. So I had it a bit too close originally. Need to allow enough clearance for that to sort of swing round. But the obvious change is here. I've been thinking about how it all slopes down to the riverbanks, and we have the River Severn. So we leave Arley under the bridge, and obviously this is not to scale, but it is actually what happens in real life. You go under Arley, go through a few fields, and then we get to the bridge, which is called Victoria Bridge, over the River Severn. So after a lot of head scratching, I decided to set up the water level at the right height, measured the sort of height that the bridge is at the track level, and then how much it drops down to where the sort of bridge abutment sits on the bank, and then there's another drop down to the actual water level. So it's kind of covered in tools and stuff at the moment, but this brown surface over here is actually the water level, and the water will be, the actual river will be, you see those two pencil lines there, it'll be roughly between there all the way down here, obviously up to the riverbank, and I've had to curve it around, which it doesn't really do, but I can't fit the whole river in. That would be massive. So yeah, it's going to curve. It curves around there, and yeah, I think I'm going to use the same sort of Woodland Scenics realistic water, but that's quite a way off yet. Actually, putting that on, I think it's a decent colour to start with. That sort of brown. It's a sort of greeny brown. It's not exactly what you call a clear blue sparkling water river. It's quite murky, sort of greeny brown, so that's not a bad colour to start with, but obviously I'll put a more realistic colour on before I put the realistic water over the top of that. So yeah, I just formed the bank out of some more shaper sheet with plaster cloth on, and there's just some spare Celotex underneath here, giving me a sort of rough level that I've started with, and then I'll show you a couple of shots just putting on the plaster bandage. And yeah, I managed to, after quite a bit of head scratching, figure out a way to do it, because as the track comes round here at this sort of level, you've got a sort of bank here, which I may have to chop some of this off, but that's what I've started to form here. So it drops down, and then you've got sort of the earth at this level, then you get the brick or stone part of the bridge, and about here you'll have the actual ironwork part of the bridge. Again, I'm a long way off actually building the bridge, but the problem was I needed something to join up to here to get this, start thinking about the road coming off here, because I haven't stuck it down yet, but I can't stick this down until we've got some surface over here to actually decide where the road surface is. So one of the next things I need to do is, a lot of this will be covered up, so the earth will go there, and obviously the ground is at this level, and I need to decide how that road is going to end, whether I just stop it here or build it up a bit and stop it here, or try and curve it somehow to hide the fact that it just ends. And the same at the back, really. It does curve around that way in real life, so I might try and thought about actually starting like that and then narrowing the width of the road so it looks like it's going further than it, you know, it's sort of distorting the scale, so it looks like it's going further than it actually is. So that's about all I've got for you for this update, but we are making progress. Next time I think the idea is I'm going to start at that end. You can see I've now started building up that bank. I think what I'm going to do is start right at that end and sort of really go for it in terms of the detail, so it's really pretty much finished there, and then just start working back this way. Just, well, for a number of reasons. If I do that and work back, it gives me lots of different things to do, because I've got the trees and the scenery to put there, and then I get to the platform, which I can do sort of platform detailing and ballasting. So that should keep the variety up, which should be good. And also, if I start this way, because I'm right-handed, if I started here and then worked on that bit, I'd be leaning over and probably squashing a lot of trees and knocking things off and stuff, so makes sense to start up there. So yeah, hopefully should have some more progress there on the next update. But until then, please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.